Appropriation Act. At the end of our meeting, there was a motion and a resolution adopted by the committee to invite the Ministry of Finance, headed by the Minister, the DG Budget and Planning, to give some explanations and clarification on the budgeting process and budgeting system currently being used in Nigeria vis-a-vis the impacts on the implementation of the 2021 Appropriation Act. On this note, we called for a meeting today and we asked them to appear before us. As it is, the meeting was slated for 12 p.m. today, but unfortunately, they failed to show up. But the good thing is they sent a representation, and maybe the representation will introduce themselves. Obviously, we cannot take you because you are not the heads of the agencies, and you cannot answer the questions the committee expects. So we appreciate the fact that you came as representation, but this is not adequate representation. And we are bound by the Constitution to carry out our mandate of oversight. You're not the head of the ministry. We need the heads of the ministry and the relevant agencies, which in this case would be the Budget Office, DG Budget Office, and the Minister of Finance or the Minister of State. We'll please ask you to introduce yourself and give us your position and explain the absence of the invitees.
Budget Office of the Federation, who has for some reasons, could not be around to attend to you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, honorable members. Good afternoon, Chairman. My name is Alfred Oko from the Budget Office of the Federation Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. I would like to convey the apologies of the Honorable Minister of Finance, who had a pre-scheduled meeting today at the Nigeria Economic Summit, currently happening at Transcorp Hilton. The Minister of State, who planned to be here on behalf of the ministry, unfortunately, is currently sitting on the panel. The timing for the panel was supposed to be before this meeting. He had planned to finish that and join us here. Unfortunately, he just sent me a message while sitting here to say that his panel is overrunning and he couldn't join us as before scheduled. So he would like us to convey his apologies and had mandated the director to take your questions. But like the committee said, we will take your message back to the Honorable Minister of State. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. On this note, we will close. Yes.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And I don't know whether we are rescheduling this meeting or we are allowing them to just go. If it is rescheduled, there are several other competing issues that will take the time of members, and it won't be very appropriate for their own views not to be reflected. For having this opportunity, I want it on record that it probably could have been an intended absence to avoid scrutiny on what has been presented. If there had been a written document before us allowing the DG, probably would have taken him and asked him a few questions. Because to my mind, having looked at the budgets of some organizations, some agencies that we supervise as the Committee on Science and Technology, as well as some other agencies supervised by some other committees, I want to honestly say that the Budget Office is one of the greatest problems we have in this country. What we have before us is it's not a budget. You know, because we had looked at it, it's not a budget. And if we had continued like this, then we know where the problem of this country lies. Somebody may have been misinforming or even ill-advising Mr. President. I give you an instance. A predecessor was before us requesting for about ₦1 billion to have a laboratory established. And all they could get in the 2020 budget was 20 million naira. 20 million out of ₦1 billion for something that would turn around the economy of the country, something that would help to stop the importation of adhesives that are used in the leather industry. Who is causing us this problem? The budget office. So how many years will it take to budget 20 million naira to arrive at the completion of a project of 1 billion naira that will be of great importance to this country? The list is endless. You will find a project that's supposed to cost about 100 million naira. The budget office will allocate 100,000 naira. I liken it to a man who wants to have a party. You want to eat fried rice, you want to eat jollof rice, you want to eat a dikankong, you want to eat a gosi soup. All you can provide for the jollof rice is tomato. For the fried rice, you provide only sweet corn, and you will not have any meal because the fried rice will not be ready, the jollof rice will not be there, the dikankong will not be there. At the end of the day, what happens? You can't even concentrate and say, okay, I don't have money for all of this. Let us cook the jollof rice. People will eat the jollof rice and they'll be satisfied and go home. The budget office is the greatest problem I have. If your DJ was here, I would have been able to say more. People are looking for SARS. I think they are misdirecting it. You will allocate 100% to training. You give them 100%. Training as capital project, you give 100%. Conference, 100%. A value chain addition that I don't even have not seen the chain, talk less of the addition, 100%. But the things that will turn around the economy of the country, foundational, main capital, you give 1%. Because 10 million naira is less than 1% of 1 billion naira. Next year you come again with, Mr. President will come with the fanfare, he lays away. I say, it's as useless as whatever it is. So to my mind, probably they have the understanding that we know what they have done and they have avoided this interface. If another opportunity presents itself, well and good. If it doesn't, let the House know that what is before us is not a budget. Not to even talk of a budget that can help this country in this time of recession. It is not a budget. Convey to the leadership of the House that we don't have a budget. The entire document should be sent back. There is no hurry. The entire document should be sent back.
Thank you, Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity to discuss on this. My name is Honorable Adedeji Stanley Olajide, member representing Ibadan Northwest Southwest Federal Constituency of Oyo State. Well, I heard what my colleague said, but I'm going to toe a different line because we hold them a duty of care and a duty of fair hearing. I would implore, just tell the representative of the minister and the DG, this is a serious issue to address all the issues of Nigeria. I would not take a hard line this morning because I think we want to hear from the DG and the minister directly. But there are lots of questions to be answered. Please, I think we should go ahead and write a second letter referring to the first one. And then from that point, Madam Chair, I think you know your experience in this. I think at that point, then we can start towing the hard line. But please, the issue of Nigeria rests on the questions that we have. Thank you.
We are about to do today is not just to improve our work as a committee on science and technology. It was to improve the entire work of the National Assembly by getting those responsible to provide certain explanations. And under normal circumstances, how does the Minister of State, the Director General, all go to one particular conference and think that what we invited them for here can take a back seat? We have questions, we have issues that will benefit this committee and other committees. How, for instance, does an agency or the federal government get 9% funding in terms of release for capital? And there are others that have received 100% in Nigeria. I think it's not to you, gentlemen of the media, that we want to make all these comments, just to let you know that we believe there should be ways in allocating responsibilities to leaders of agency MDAs so that they can respond to burning issues. Some of these budget issues are time-bound. And we hope when they have another opportunity, they will handle it better. Thank you very much.
Members have contributed. What I would want to say is that we'll write another letter inviting the Honorable Minister and DG Budget Office to make some clarifications into the budgetary system and the budgetary process Nigeria is currently operating as it impacts the sector. I think the main issue and the main point here is that we want to complete projects that have been started. Like my colleagues have said, we have the laboratories, very key science and technology projects that are allocated ridiculous amounts of money, very low, not even enough to buy paper. So for instance, like you said, if you have a laboratory that will cost almost $1 billion and they're being allocated even less than 20 million, some allocated 2 million, 7 million, what are the research centers going to do with that? And they came here crying. So we're all speaking on behalf of our research centers and the research institutes, that if we want them to perform, we have to have a system of budgeting that encourages them to finish already existing projects before starting new ones, so that we don't have a situation where we have so many projects spread out and none of them get completed. If we have even just a few projects and those ones are taken to completion, I think that would be more productive for the economy, so that the results of the research and the outcomes can be made public, and it can also benefit the society. You can link it to certain, commercial ventures or businesses. But if you just keep having, research that is ill-funded, when are you going to complete the research? It will never be completed, and it will take over 10, 15, 20 years. So I think that's what we want to look into, and what is to create an enabling environment for sufficient research to be carried out by researchers in the science and technology sector in this country. That is why we call this meeting. So on this note, I want to thank you all. We will write another letter, and I believe that the second time around will be better than this time. I believe at the end of the day, we'll reach a resolution that will move this country forward in terms of better synergy with the executive and also better outcomes to make the budgeting process smoother. Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable colleagues. This meeting is adjourned sine die. Thank you.